When people talk about the best romance anime of all time, the same few names come up. Your Lie in April, Oregairu, Kaguya-sama Love is War, Clannad After Story, and many more. And honestly, they all deserve their flowers. They're all well written in their own way. Romance anime isn't just about what makes you cry the most or who has the cutest confession. For me, the best romance anime is the one that understands love in all of its forms. You have trauma, healing, family loss, and choosing someone despite it all. And that's why for me, the best romance anime isn't any of those. It's Fruits Basket. Listen, I know a lot of you people don't know what Fruits Basket is, but I hope this video can convince you that you should go watch it and see for yourself. When people talk about the best romance anime, there's always a few things that determine what the best romance anime is. One of those few things are what impacted them the most. You know, the ones where you're like, when you just finished a romance anime and you're like, yo bro, I can't stop thinking about it for a week. I wish I had love like them. This allows you to be resonated with their stories, allows you to be connected with the characters, making you emotionally attached to them. And that's why, for example, some people's favorite romance anime is Clannad, because that show was built around to hurt you. Mind you, I love Clannad as well. It falls just below Fruits Basket. But the difference about Fruits Basket and what separates it from other romance anime is what it chooses to focus on. It's a story about broken people learning how to live. Nearly every major character in Fruits Basket is carrying some kind of emotional wound. Grief, self-hatred, abandonment, the fear of being seen for who they really are. The series never treats those wounds as something love can instantly fix. No one confesses and suddenly be okay. No one is saved by romance. Instead, Fruits Basket shows healing as a slow, uneven process. People relapse, they shut down, they push others away, and yet they keep moving forward. And the emotional center of this story is the one and only Toru Honda. People think she's perfect. People think that she's a miracle cure. Toru Honda is just as flawed as every other character in the series. Her kindness doesn't erase trauma. It creates space. Space for people to speak, to be heard, to feel human again. And that's why Fruits Basket feels so grounded. Love doesn't arrive first. Understanding does. Acceptance does. Romance naturally grows out of that foundation. The series is honest about the fact that loving someone means learning how to exist alongside their pain. Not fixing it, not rushing it, just simply by staying. Fruits Basket doesn't romanticize suffering. It acknowledges it, then asks a much harder question. What does it mean to choose love anyway? Now, to understand why Fruits Basket is that good, you have to understand Toru Honda's character. Like I mentioned before, she is the emotional foundation of the story. At first glance, Toru seems almost unreal. She's endlessly kind, patient, always smiling, and in a lot of animes, that character would feel flat. But Fruits Basket takes its time to show us that Toru Honda wasn't born with kindness, she learnt it. After losing her mother, Toru chooses kindness as a way to survive, helping others become how she avoids confronting her own grief. And that's what makes her such a powerful romance protagonist. She doesn't enter relationships trying to be loved, she enters them trying to make sure no one else has to feel alone. Toru doesn't force change, she doesn't demand vulnerability, she simply listens. And in a story filled with people who has never been listened to, that's everything. What makes her difference to the typical romance leads is that she grows. She learns that being kind to everyone but herself is not strength, it's avoidance. As Toru begins to face her own pain, the romance around her becomes deeper and more honest. Because now love isn't just something that she gives, it's something that she allows herself to receive. And that balance, giving and accepting, is what makes the relationships in Fruits Basket feel real. And that's only the main character. I haven't even got to the two male leads. You have great writing in both of these characters, Yuki Soma and Kyo Soma. Kyo and Yuki showcases two different types of love. It never makes romance a competition. It doesn't ask the audience on the question of who is better. It asks who needs what kind of love. Kyo and Yuki aren't just two love interests, they're both on two complete different journeys. Kyo lives with overwhelming self-hatred. From the very beginning, he believes that he's unlovable, that he's dangerous, that anyone who gets close to him will eventually leave. So when Kyo starts to care about Toru, it terrifies him, because loving her means risking rejection. And for Kyo, rejection isn't just painful, it confirms everything he already believes about himself. Toru doesn't fix Kyo, she doesn't erase his past or guilt. What she offers him is something far more important: acceptance. Not despite who he is, but because of it. Then on the other hand, you have Yuki, who isn't defined by self-hatred. He is defined by isolation. He grew up controlled, admired from the distance, and emotionally starved. When Yuki gravitates towards Toru, it isn't romantic at first. It's survival. She represents safety, warmth, the idea of being seen without being owned. Then over time, Yuki becomes to understand what he feels for Toru isn't romantic love. Gratitude, it's respect, it's something closer to family. And that realization isn't treated as a loss, it's treated as growth. Fruits Basket never frames one outcome as winning and the other one losing, because love isn't about competition. It's about compatibility. By allowing Yuki and Kyo to find what kind of love they need, it makes the story of Fruits Basket richer and not messier. At the end of the day, calling something the best is always personal. There are romance anime that made me cry harder. Romance anime with more dramatic moments. There are romance anime with confessions that people will forever talk about. Fruits Basket is the one that stayed with me because it doesn't treat love as a reward. It treats it as a choice. A choice to understand someone. A choice to stay when it's uncomfortable. A choice to grow alongside another person instead of expecting them to fix you. Fruits Basket understands that romance doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's shaped by trauma, by family, by the things we're afraid to say out loud. When love finally happens in the story, it feels earned. Not because the characters suffered enough, but because these characters learned how to live. That's why for me, Fruits Basket isn't just the greatest romance anime, it's the one that understands love the best. Obviously, you don't have to agree with me, but if you've seen Fruits Basket, you can kind of understand my reasoning. Either way, let me know what your best romance anime is, comment it down below, and thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy Pri, aka Prioms, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!